recording, we're streaming, we're good. All right, so there's really three things to talk about right now. Cat, get if you're gonna go in, go in. Don't like half go in. There we go. Okay. Um, so there's really three things to talk about here. The first is all about movement and baits. I've got a couple of different POVs that we can see that are fairly close to our P2 strat. And then I've got kind of the full run of what we're trying to emulate from a P3 perspective. I also have some fun stats for damage and where different things are going, but I want to kind of start with we're getting to the part of the fight where the dance matters more and more. We're shockingly on track damage-wise, despite having people dead, weird baits, lots of extra movement. Like we're in the stand in the right place phase, not the pump maximum damage phase. Just for context. So I'm going to talk through like a couple of different baiting things. The first is around void bombs. So in raid, you'll probably hear me like calling out specific people, being like, make sure you're moving out of bomb. This is not necessarily all bad damage, so don't everyone put Codex on blast here. The people who are picking up bombs, I expect to be higher on this damage list, and they should be. And those people are Vess, Cammy, Codex, Taco, and Turtle. And in some cases, Kieran, as we get later into the phase. I think Ref picked one up by accident on a fight. But like these four people can and should have high damage taken in this. So Codex, Taco, Cammy, and Vess. Everyone else on this list is bad damage. So what happens is when a bomb falls, shortly after a bomb falls, where did my Twitch window go?
Is it to the left? Fourth from the left up there?
Yes. So when a
Hey.
bomb falls, thank you. When a bomb falls, which is what's about to happen here, this bomb bar is going to tick down. Bomb's going to plop on the ground. The bomb is going to pulse. So that little plop pulse gives you a stack of the go down debuff if you get hit by it. So we can see on this pull, I got hit, Raz and Vel got hit, Ref and Kieran got hit. So this is bad because one, it's just initial avoidable damage, but two, for the whole rest of the phase, you're taking a lot more damage now. So when we're baiting bombs, what happens is the bomb cast is going to go off, and we want to move to the right out of that like 10-yard circle. So bomb cast goes off, bomb drops. We see some people move, a couple people lag behind. Bombs just now fall. So there's like this very slight delay between when the boss finishes his cast and when the bombs actually hit. Because on this pull, right, Kareem didn't go far enough. And I think biggest towed into the heal absorb, not the bomb. But so it's just we bait the bombs and we scoot. So what that looks like in reality is, this is just an example POV, is we're baiting bombs, ranged is all clumped together the same way that we bait breath, right? We're tucked in, bombs come, we move to the right with intention, right? And so we can get some movement speed assigned there, but we want to book it away from these bombs. We want only the two people who are expecting to get those bombs to get hit by that bomb blast. And it seems like a minor nuance, but the more of those stacks that we get, the more brain power your healers have to dedicate to focusing on the people with stacks versus the tanks who are getting absolutely blasted, or the people who need to step into the individual mechanics because they have a bomb and we need to keep them alive so that they can go down and not explode the raid. So it makes a big difference. And again, just to see that movement one more time, they use a roar here. We'll probably assign a wind rush, but you drop the bombs and you scoot. And then you immediately tuck back, right? So you don't have to tuck all the way back. You see these guys kind of hanging out. You want to tuck back because of the duress. And I think one major learning from a duress perspective is the knockback angle. So if you look at where the group is, and where the duress is going to come. Right now, we're kind of knocking ourselves inward, like more towards their square marker. We want to knock ourselves more outward, like more towards our square marker, or which is where their moon is. Um, just so that range don't have to do as much movement. We're just moving laterally as opposed to front to back. But the first thing that'll really help is getting these stacks down because it directly correlates with what is it? I always forget the name of the second debuff. There it is. Astral Eruption. Um the no. It has the same icon. That's pretty troll. Nope. It directly corresponds with Oblivion, of course. Like your Oblivion damage taken on those pulls is going to be highly correlated with the number of different things that you get hit by. But bombs are like the secret adder of stacks. So are people who aren't going down, who are getting those stacks in melee by stepping into blossoms or in ranged by not baiting out or by not stepping out of bombs, are really putting the strain on your healers. So from a clean movement perspective, I want to just kind of go through like one end to end P2 after the breath bait, because we all know the breath bait, right? So bombs come down, you scoot out, a duress is going to come out here shortly. Ranged are going to get knocked to the side, melee are going to get knocked to the middle, and you see how tight, just real quick, look at how tight their blossom bait is. It's super tight. So the more stacked our melee can be on the whole, the more room it'll feel like we have to play here. So your duress knock comes. You're going to bait a breath here shortly, so ranged are going to tuck all the way back in, and ranged, yes, I know it's a lot of movement. We'll make sure you have movement cooldowns to do that movement. You bait the breath again. This is
So,
exactly
sorry,
how close we're getting. Oh, go ahead.
super good question. So it looks like the ads are not spawning in the blossom there.
They did
It
not.
looks like okay.
So these blossoms should actually be like a little to the side. But they'll promptly get knocked in. In fact,
Because
they
they get
don't even
blossom
get the
set.
debuff. Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, they
Um
get new blossoms on that set, so it kind of doesn't matter. It's the next
right.
set where it seems like it
But they're
matters a lot.
keeping them super close. Because that first set gets so blasted and these guys have like a super giga ad damage comp, like you saw how fast those melted. That's how fast we want to melt ads. And that's going to come in a big way as a result of like us making this less of a only, codex and a couple of melee really blasting, and turtle of course blasting those ads. If we look at
Turtles
the
and honorary melee.
turtles and honorary melee, yeah. If we look at the glimmer, the picture isn't that different, right? So glimmers are the little ads, the recollections are the big ads. So we want to equalize the scale as much as we can. Like bring our demon hunters in parallel, bring our mages in parallel, and I think take a minute to some of our pure single target folks, even if you're not spec for it, just like slam an AoE ability in that period. And make sure that you're tabbing over. Because even if you're a pure single target person, your damage on the recollections, with the noted exceptions of Cammy and Vess, who have been explicitly told not to swap, everyone should be tabbing to the big ad and just giga murdering it. Especially if you're in melee and you don't have like big cast windups, things like that. Just slam the ads.
I
So
have one thing on
go
that.
ahead, Codex. Yeah.
So not that I am not like whether I'm healing or not moving forward, so I made it maybe
Yeah.
a moot point, but um like that phase and the second phase is where Shadow Priest is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we do like this, like we have really strong swap priority damage, which is
Right.
why I'm always highest. But this right here is me missing an entire ad. Like I'm missing an
Because you're going
entire
down.
reflection.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it seems like I don't know like if it would be better to swap me and Kieran and have me do a bomb in phase 3 instead
Yeah.
of me doing it in phase 2. But
Yeah.
just a thought.
I
I think
know people have used healers in P2 as well because it's
I've
like
seen a couple. I've seen more recent kills doing that, where as people execute, there's less of a healer check. Um, it looks like it's primarily your healers in ranged, so like a priest or an evoker or a shaman. Um, that's something that I was toying with. I wanted to kind of talk through it before we pulled the hard trigger there. But Codex, to your point on bombs, so the first bomb set. So this is phase 2. So the first bomb set we know is a hard lock. These guys get huge benefit. Like Cammy can come up and burst for 1,000,000 DPS, like actually 1,000,000, the number 1,000,000 DPS. Vest can do similar things if they're up and they're allowed to just single target slam. So they're a lock. Next bomb set. I, I think we originally had a mage here. Everything that I've read says mages are a decent target for that bomb set. Um, but and not priests. But I know that there was some big potential slamming that was happening, which is why we were trying a shift on Thursday. I think it's likely that that bomb will either revert, or we'll find a new target. I think.
I mean, if I'm healing, like I already know how to do it, so
Yeah.
I mean, I can just do it as a healer, like that's fine too.
Yeah, like the general pattern guidance is on the first ad set, you just cleave because we all have wild 50% extra haste. On the second ad, everyone is on the ads except for the 2 boss people or the 2 bomb people. Most people recommend 2 DKs. We only have 1. A demo warlock is a really good second string there. And then on ad 3, we want to be on the ad except for mages, which is why I understood mages were good for bomb set 2, because they come up and have the haste for their big burn. But I can do some more follow up research there. But I agree, Codex, that SP isn't probably the best target. That was more of a Hail Mary because in P3 we have a couple bombs that we need to solve for, and we explicitly need people with immunes. So like Kareem goes down without a bomb. We'd have a non-immune bomb set, a full immune bomb set, and then later we have a non-immune bomb set. So I think this is one where we can calibrate P3 to align with P2 so that people just aren't spending all fight downstairs. But let me color this so I remember to change it. Fair point.
And the other thing too that might be just a slight optimization.
Yeah.
If I am healing, if I'm shadow, I don't know if it's a good point, but if I'm
Yeah.
healing, I'll have PI for either Cammy or Vest there.
Right.
For their big boss damage too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think. Yeah. Like I'm when I was not Prez, I was delaying everything for those 2 to come up and like force buffing them and just letting them rip. So we didn't have all of that lineup last night. We did have all of it on Thursday or Tuesday. We didn't get, I think, the like perfect Exodia pull off. But if you look at like their 2 lines, our raid DPS is dipping here, but they're slamming. So I think these we should ideally get up significantly, and that'll come with just comfort, right? Because they have giant spikes, and they should be able to spike similarly high to their lust timing, and they're close right now. On some prog logs, people are straight up getting like millions, which is hard to achieve. I fully acknowledge. So we're never gonna have it perfect, but they're good good targets there. I think this was Cammy had shared me one that was this.
What the heck?
Yeah. So you can, like, this is right after coming up. If you do it right, you can really peak even harder than you peaked with Lust, because you're coming up with 50% haste, another 20% on top of Lust. If you get everything that you're supposed to get, you can really slam. And I think a big part of that is just how much Fellstorm value do you get, but it helps. So anyway, we don't need to harp on that, but I thought it was interesting. So again, we want to send people down who will take ample advantage of that. So yeah, we can revisit those bombs. We may end up doing healer bombs, but even if you are a PI, the second bomb set doesn't come down until after those two people are back up. So no one is downstairs right now, and their DKs should slowly explode up the meters here. But
Wait, if
we
I'm
again have a bomb. Oh, sorry, Codex. Was
if
there one
I'm
more
healing? Were you talking about if I was healing or if I was
thing?
DPS?
If yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, we're still figuring out path forward there, and we'll strike up a conversation in healer chat after the review here just to make sure. So coming back, this is a no move speed bait, and again, you can see you just scoot away from the bombs. You want to just not get stacks. And so I know that we had a question on what's the right pattern for breaths. This is very similar to our breath pattern. Our breath baits are really good. Where we need to get consistent is our bomb baits now. So again, you see the two parallel lines and then one at kind of like almost a 90-degree angle. That's correct. We want to keep doing that. So again, our only people on the left here should be people with bombs and this one poor arcane mage who just lagged behind. This is where, again, the raid now has stacks, right? Everyone's got stacks. Everyone's ticking. This is where your healers are slamming. This last duress, I think right now, people are a little bit panicky on this last duress. You're trying to eke out as much damage, finish the ads. Again, I think just making sure everyone's swapping to the ads more readily will really help us get more comfortable with this duress. But this duress not comes, and you can see, again, you just get knocked down the line, and then ideally we have time. So we have our go down tick. The boss will leave. It's okay for us to still be hitting the ad in that moment, right? The ad doesn't have to be dead until we go down. So we have some room to breathe there. And again, this is just everyone walks in. They didn't have a good Venn diagram here, so it was chaos. That's the importance of Venn diagramming, which we're doing a really good job of right now. I'm going to skip ahead because we know what downstairs looks like. With the exception of, so the thing goes off, and you still want to not come up. You want to not come up
I
until
love
you
that
see
this guy
these,
has two different timers for when to come up.
Yeah, his UI is chaotic. Agree. But the point being, don't just use the thing on the ground as your point of reference. Like, trust the timer on your screen, and then come up. Because again, you want to spawn, and just so that we're all clear on like why are we doing that.
Can you back up for just a second? Sorry. So finish
Yep.
that thought, and then. Sorry.
So
finish.
The rocks that spawn, we're intentionally keeping one tank up so that we get one rock, because each rock increases raid damage taken through just like an ever-present ticking dot, and we don't want to have to use black holes to clear them. So we want the whole raid down, with the exception of tank, who's upstairs because he can AMS the duress so we don't get knocked back, and he can just chill and bait a rock on the marker. So we stay down until the rocks come, and then we all go up. Sorry, Ferris, what was your
Can you back up
thought?
5 seconds? And where is this man's debuffs? What the fuck? Okay,
I
hit
don't know.
play.
His UI is weird. They're all down here.
Okay,
on his,
go ahead and hit play
yeah.
for me. I just want to point out that basically it's 3 seconds before you would have died to your debuff expiring. You're supposed to go out, or 2 seconds before. It's like a
Yeah.
tight window. So if you back up again just a second, look at his
The
emptiness
debuff
debuff.
that he's watching is
Emptiness,
this
3
debuff.
seconds,
Yeah.
2, and then he
So you
comes
come
up.
up like
Literally
at
a
1
second
second
before he
left.
dies.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, it's gonna be tight, but there's nothing else going on. You don't take damage downstairs. You can walk freely through the giant purple puddle on the ground. Don't obviously the portals still affect you, but like you can happily stand in this mechanic and nothing will happen to you. So just focus on getting your stuff, getting up. So then P3. So in P3, we have 3 ads. I'm going to add kick orders for these, but in reality, we should just be slamming it with CCs. These guys do something, so they don't have markers down, but you can see the ranged movement that we were talking about, right? So they go what is R. So again, just for a refresher of our raid markers, we have a circle and a skull, right? So if we fast forward, when we come up, right? When we come up, we ideally want to converge, but we kind of have a lot of people flop before then. We haven't gotten cleanly into this phase where we can see like good pattern movement, but this is their circle, or this is our circle, this is our skull. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So they're baiting the first bomb at our circle, and then they move to our skull. So again, you come up, you stand on the marker, you bait a bomb, you move, you bait a bomb. And all of that happens with black hole existing. So in this case, again, you bait the bombs and then you move in, but you eventually want to detonate the black hole in melee. So bomb, hole is the order for that. So again, just to see it one more time, you bait a bomb at circle, you bait a bomb at skull, and then you all move in. No one's taking extra stacks from the bomb pulses, and you do the black hole. At this point, you should be at exactly 1, unless you have a bomb, oblivion stack. And then you kind of just do the phase, right? There's not a whole lot that goes on here. The other thing that's important is obviously the knockback mechanic we all know and love, but this is just time where you can blast, right? There's not a lot going on. It's important that the ads die. Otherwise, there is a lot going on. We have kicks, we have CCs, we have other things, but like we got to make sure that we're slamming the ads. We got to make sure that we're swapping. The next spooky moment is this duress black hole overlap. So again, you have duress, double duress. If you saw what they just did there, it's kind of hard with this giant purple thing obfuscating everything, which is the portal from above. They have duress. They mass dispel the duresses while standing on top of a warlock gate. So the duresses get MD'd and everyone gates at the same time. So they went gate to gate, MD the duress, take the warlock gate out. If you don't take the warlock gate out, you're going to end up in a terrible spot. So this is all about getting comfy. And then you do a black hole. This is where you're going to get more rocks.
Can you back up and
right?
show that one more time? Sorry.
Sure thing. And I know it's hard to see from this POV. I've got another POV that's a little bit easier to see, but again, we're all stacked. Everyone presses their personals. You have the black hole. Everyone's together on a warlock gateway. We're going to call for an MD at the same time that the Cosmic Ascension comes out. So mass dispel and gateway. So you get MD'd, and then the knock happens, and then you take the gate. Like 1, 2, 3, all in rapid succession. All so that you can get out and bait all this stuff on the edge. Because again, you don't want it in the middle. It produces these giant purple puddles. Right? Any questions on that particular movement set?
No, it makes perfect sense. I just feel bad for Codex for playing the best class and also having the most responsibility of anyone of the entire raid on every boss fight.
On
Or
every
call
boss
it.
fight, yes.
I know you
Go
can
ahead.
get back from like the Remnant days. You can get the old everyone sees the Master Spell bar. You might want to sneak that into the pack
Yeah, I can track that
because
down. Yeah.
that would essentially give everyone a timer to know when to.
I mean, I can.
When to hit the
I can
gate.
just.
But I
I can
mean,
just call it too. I'm pretty
yeah,
good
we
at.
can also call it.
Yeah. Either way, I'll see if I can dig it up. I know it's out there somewhere.
I've got one if you want it, but if not,
Yeah.
Because
Send
it seems.
send it over.
It seems like maybe the play would be to stand a little bit in front of the gate, so that when you get knocked, you have like a half a second to 1
some
second grace
forgiveness.
period.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you're standing right on the gate, you might get knocked too far to use it.
Yep. That's a good point.
yeah, I think I did read that. I mean, you were saying that like if you get masked, if you get knocked in the wrong direction, that's bad, absolutely. But I think if you are in the right direction, you still get knocked far enough, or like little, or maybe not as far as the gate would put you, but you're still in a decent position.
Yeah. You want to
But
be
I
on
think
the
the
right
gate is the
side of the
safe.
people with duress, for sure.
I think the gate is
in
the
case
safe
you miss
bet.
it. Yeah.
You have to get really comfy because the people with the rest also have to be close enough to press the gate. And
The
so
people with duress just get knocked straight up. So for them,
exactly, they have
it's
to gate.
more forgiving. Yeah. They
No,
must.
but they
Yeah.
they literally have to press the gate. Do they not knock each other?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. My assumption is no. My assumption is that they both go up, but they may just
Yeah.
go away from each other.
Either way, they are gonna have to be close enough to like they're gonna have to be.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna have to get really comfortable with pixel stacking there because they're gonna have to be
Yes.
close to us for the dispel, and we have to be just tight.
Everyone has
And
to be on the gate.
on one side.
Yeah. Yes. So again, that is I think one of the toughest parts of the P3 dance is executing that knock dispel gate combo. And at that point we have a ton of extra like raid damage going out because we have more of these pillar things. At this point, so you saw they soaked black holes 1 and 2. We're done soaking black holes at this point. We're intentionally going to be sending people down with immunes. So if we go back to our handy-dandy spreadsheet, our plan for this, as of right now, is Kareem will block the third black hole.
The stream is doing some stuff obscuring the bottom half of the spreadsheet.
Oh. Wow.
Is anybody else seeing that?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
That's super strange.
Can you just scroll down a little bit more?
Yeah, I can keep here. I'll keep it at the top. So Kareem, Kareem is going to be blocking the first. I wonder if that's just Discord. I don't know. If I put it on half the screen, is it better?
Well,
We can't
it's
see it
only
at
on
all
the
now.
Google Sheet.
It's just the
Weird.
Google Sheet that it's doing the
Okay.
thing.
Anyway, so Kareem will.
Oh,
block
it's
the
because
first
you're
one.
selecting that. I think.
I don't think so.
You don't
No,
think?
if I
Oh, no,
select
you're
stuff
right.
at the bottom, it's still. Anyway, Kareem will block the first one. Either Turtle or Azara will block the second one. Is the plan. So
And so I know Kareem can bait by going down and having no stacks. Is that the same thing? Are Zara and Turtle also going to be going? Yeah, okay, I see.
So Kareem goes down at a random time.
Yeah.
Like he stands in swirlies and goes down.
Right.
Azara and Turtle go down via bombs. So they
Right.
also they're clearing bombs and they're baiting the meteor.
Got it. So there's the like organic. He's forcing himself down.
Correct.
So I don't. So I don't know if it matters. I mean, maybe it doesn't matter for me, but I don't know. I don't know that I fully understand. What, like I get the baiting and
So-
you're immuning, but I don't get the prerequisite to that.
So,
So
the black
the-
hole goes on the person with the lowest stacks.
No.
Codex. So
No. It goes on people with 0.
right.
So if you have
Okay.
1 versus 9, you're just as likely to get it. But if you
Got
have
it.
someone with 0 Oblivion stacks, it automatically targets them. So we're forcing people with immunes to go down and come up to clear their Oblivion stacks so that they can get the black hole.
Got it.
So it's important when those people come up that they don't then stand it bad. Like if you're a bait person and you get hit by a swirly when you come up, we've failed the bait. At which point, whoever gets it is just going to run over here and kill themselves in this muddle of clusters. So again, we'll see this here. So these guys soak all three, which is like a higher. Oh no, they sack him. Okay, good. So he did a super rapid block there, gets it cleared, easy peasy. But again, they forced it on a mage. These hurtling barrages hurt, and they give you more Oblivion stacks. So you need to get you see this guy. You're gonna get an arrow from off screen if you're targeted by hurtling barrage. You have to make sure your arrow doesn't pass through the raid, because these barrages hurt and they give you stacks. So that you saw the barrages happened, they come back in. Again, we want to keep just this one rock for our bait clears. And then again, this whole time we're just burning the boss. If we do this well, there's not a lot that's going on. It's just healing intensive, and we're pushing our buttons. So here, they didn't bait this one correctly. I don't think this guy has an immune. So he's just gonna go off and die. So you see he's dead, and they're gonna res him potentially. Yeah, they rest him. Oh no, he's staying down. But yeah, so then all we're doing, the last part of the fight that is execution intensive is this moment. So the same way in the start of P2, we all stack up on player marker moon and we all walk in together. We're going to stack up on a player marker moon. In this case, they're all stacking on someone named Nara, who I think is Diamond. But they're all stacking on these people. You pixel stack, and then you all together, collectively as a raid, with the exception of the tank, who will be bopped, are going to go stand on one spot, like one specific swirly. So again, to see that, everyone's going to stack together on this group of people, and then these people are going to call what direction they're going to go. They're going to go stand in a swirly. Everyone's going to go down in the same swirly so that you poop together, and then off you go. You're just doing this again. So again, there's no like set specific swirly. It's stack on the person, clear comms, we're moving right, everyone goes and stacks in the swirly. You again don't come up because you don't want to bait more rocks. Same thing that happens. Ferris, there's an exception for you here where you may have to come up and bubble if the tank can't stop the duress.
Bubble dispel, or bubble, what is the...
You'll have to bubble so that you don't get knocked. So
right,
you
but what
may
am
have
I
to come
doing
up, bubble
when I...
and dispel the duress, because the tank will get a duress there. There's a chance. If he doesn't have AMS, or if like the boss chews through it, because there is, unlike the start of the phase, because there are rocks on the ground, there's just passive ticking magic damage. So it may chew through his AMS before we get to the right spot. So the tank will verbal, I have duress, in which case you have to just munch your three things without getting 10 stacks, bubble, and dispel. After that, we're up. Hurtling barrages go out again. So you can see here, he identifies... Oh, he actually just stepped in shit. But again, at this point, it's just don't stand in bad. Everyone has massive haste, and you're just burning the boss. And that's it. So the two tricky spots coming up for us are the Mass Dispel Gateway and the stack and move together moments. Okay? As kind of like general side notes, as always, we want to be minimizing our avoidable damage. I think Drifting Embers in particular, I can attest, I personally dream breathed through 6 because I didn't know the right timing for that. So this was bad. Drifting Embers and Hurtling Barrage will want to minimize both of those. I think we all know that. We don't need to harp on it here. I really wanted to focus on, like, what are we doing in P3?
A couple things I think. I
Yeah,
wanted to
go ahead.
mention. In P2, you were just saying about like Oblivion, getting extra Oblivion stacks. It does
Mhm.
make it more difficult to heal, but it also makes you go down faster, so potentially kill people when you create
Yes.
your little black hole.
Yes.
Also, if we got to the point where if the immunes aren't working, or Kareem or Turtle or Azara better not going down with a bomb, we could. I don't know when people use the second APT, but maybe you could use that for a black hole res.
Yeah, the second APT I think is traditionally thrown down on a black hole as needed if we get a weird bait.
Right.
To send them off to the side.
Good to know.
Yes. Because it should be
Um,
back up from the first set there.
Can you show in P3? There's a bomb set I wasn't super clear on. Let me think. Bomb spawn.
Okay.
I think it
Was
was
it the
right
first bombs?
after the second knock.
Okay.
A
So,
third.
so
Sorry.
here's the second knock.
656. Sorry.
656. Here?
Okay. Before this, before they go down. My bad.
Okay. So these two bombs?
Yeah. How are those
Okay.
baited?
So they're just baiting along the edge here. So the raids
Like, just
stack
anybody.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
duress knockback there, so the ranged can be in melee, you get knocked out to the side, and then you just make sure you're picking those up.
So, for the exception of the very first baits, it seems like range and melee always, unless they're baiting bombs.
Together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Because the only bomb moments, right? Bombs 1 is at the start of the phase. Bombs 2 is right after the spooky gateway set.
Mhm.
So we're
And you're
we're
slowly
all going to
moving
be
into melee
naturally
anyway.
together anyway.
Mhm. Yeah.
So again,
bombs.
this is bombs 1. You bait, stack in melee, right?
Hey, Rev.
Huh?
Hey, Rev.
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I do have to dip out here. It was I heard a lot of insightful things, but I do have to dip out.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
Yep. See you guys later.
See you, man. Later, Rev.
Bye.
Yeah, so that's bombs 1. Bombs 2 again is right with this gateway set. So you gate, black hole happens, you move left, you continue
And
moving
then-
left, and then
imagine
right
range
here
just
we should
stays.
have bomb
Yeah,
baits.
yeah.
Like range just stays out for a second. And then here come the bomb
Yeah,
baits,
yeah.
right? And then the third one is right after a duress knock as well. So
Right,
it's just
right.
a get comfy. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. I think there was one more thing. Oh yeah, there's a black hole right after everyone goes down, like after everyone comes back up for like that 7-minute burn or whatever the timing they had. I just noticed they just sacrificed that person.
Yeah,
Do
it
we also do
should
that?
go on.
Or do we
It
just
should
sack 'em?
go on an immune person, but it may
Mhm.
not. In which case we sack it. So we are
Okay.
only soaking black holes 1 and 2. We are immuning or sacking black holes 3 and 4 in P3.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking 5. I think there's a 5th one. Like right after the all down. I think there's one.
Is there? One, two,
Yeah,
three,
706.
4, 5. Oh yeah. We would sack this person.
Okay.
We absolutely don't soak that.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Also, I just thought of one more thing. I don't know, maybe you mentioned it. I was getting coffee. The swirlies on the ground. They give how many stacks? Do you know?
5.
Right. So you have to get to 5 stacks because there's I think there's if you don't get targeted by anything and you dodge everything, I think you're actually don't have enough stacks. So I think
the
people
duress,
actually
the duress
use
dispels
this.
give you 4. You have to find one more stack somewhere. Yes.
Yeah. So I think people use this bomb that you're looking at right now.
Mm-hmm.
as a way to get one stack. So like if you
Yeah.
had 4, you would take one hit of this bomb. I think that's something
Yeah.
that should be
Yeah.
like that was
No,
one
that's a
thing I
good.
noticed as well.
That's a good call out. Yes, we all need to be at 5. If you're at 4, and we all do the swirly stack, you just fall through all the portals that spawn and you die. So
I
make
think there
sure
might
you're
be a
at
prompt
5.
on this screen. If you just play it through, there might be. I don't know.
They have a get 5 stacks prompt.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah. Cool.
I think it was just prior to the stack on Nara. Yeah, get 5 stacks.
Yeah, get 5 stacks. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
But
yeah,
again,
that's all
like before this, everyone has 4 right here,
Mm-hmm.
with the exception of a couple people. When this duress gets dispelled, you get a stack. So if you're at 4 here, you're bueno.
Yeah.
You just
have
got your
5.
5th
Right,
stack.
right.
So don't go stand in a bunch of shit right before a duress. Okay. That was all I had. That was it.
I think that's good.
What a neat little fight. No, this is super helpful for me to like visualize this. I'm gonna go back to the lab and study up.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, Riv.
And I'll link this POV in the raid channel just so that folks have it. Just so you can kind of tab through it on your own. But I apologize. I do have to step away here rather quickly. My wife needs help with something. So
Goodbye.
y'all.
Good luck helping her.